Alright, so quick update about Bitcoin. I'm starting to be a bit worried about what I see. I mean, if you follow me on Twitter, you already know about it, but this 3-day RSI for me starts to look super, super ugly. I mean, I don't see a scenario where we keep ripping through here like this and we invalidate even the divergence by just going higher. I don't think it's gonna happen. I mean, you never know, but for me it looks very, very ugly at the moment. If you look at the entire history of Bitcoin, every time we had this kind of divergence on the 3-day chart, we ended up correcting. So I mean, I'm not speaking here about the top of the microcycle. I'm just saying we could be facing soon a correction which would be between 30 and 50% maybe. And yeah, I think it's coming. I mean, look at this divergence here, correction, pull back to this moving average, divergence, pull back to the moving average, same thing. Here as well, it was actually the top. And I mean, in this bull market, I was not in Bitcoin yet, but here I was. And I remember then when this happened, like all of Twitter was super bullish, exactly the same way they are right now. So, another thing you can look at is like this moving average. It's very, I mean, you can make like a case that, we're gonna rip through and validate the divergence like we did here. We kept ripping through and made a higher high, but there's a big difference between these two instances. Here, before we ripped through here, we made a pullback, both on the RSI on the midline here, and also on the moving average. Actually, on the moving average, we made two pullbacks, once here, okay? So we put back twice before we bounced hard. Here, it's been extremely long time since we did not have a pullback on this moving average. And same thing for the RSI. It's been extremely long time that we did not have a pullback on this midline. Right? I mean, most of the time, like this midline pullback on the RSI is the same thing as pullback on the moving average. If you look at this bull run, like midline, every time it's a pullback, right, on the moving average. But here, I mean, it's been extremely, extremely long time since we did not have it. So let's measure it. 144 days. I mean, here it was 190 days, 119. Here it was, 70 days. Here it was 108, 72, 123. I mean, just to show you, like we start to be extremely overdue for some kind of sales pullback here. So I'm not calling a top immediately or anything. I mean, it could be in already, I don't know. Keep in mind it's a 3-day chart, which means on this chart one candle is 3 days. So I don't know, even if you have 5 candles more, it's already 15 days or 2 weeks more of price data. Not that I would be surprised if we get 2 weeks more of upside at this stage, but we could still go up for a few days, I don't know. But it's just, I think it's time to start to be careful. Maybe stop leveraging your longs, maybe a good idea. Maybe take some profits on your spot to have some cash on reserve if we have a pullback. Could be a good idea. I mean, at the end of the day, everybody has to manage his risk the way he thinks is right. But that's what I'm doing personally. So just, to let you know what I'm doing right now, we can also look at this, for example. It's so here in black, it's a representation of price of Bitcoin, and you have this threshold in red, and you can see that since pretty much like 2014, every time we came back to this red line, it was a warning sign, right? Here we came back, correction, here the same, and pull back on this blue moving average as well every time. Same thing here. Same thing here like mid 2019. Here we rep through at the end of the last bull cycle. Here we had this pullback here, and same thing, once again we are hovering on this red horizontal threshold. So, another thing to keep in mind. Yeah, so for Bitcoin, maybe last thing we can take a look at is this fear and greed index. And so here we had this peak at mid 2019, which was like the peak of this peak here. And we're back to all-time high greed right now. All of Twitter is super bullish, telling you, yeah, you should buy this alt, you should buy this alt. It's not, it's, what they say, be greedy when others are fearful, and be fearful when others are greedy. And right now, everybody is greedy. Everybody is super, super greedy. So, yeah, one thing to keep in mind. On Ethereum, let's take a look at Yfii on Kraken, because here they have the entire price history. And for me, like on Kraken, this RSI and Yfii on the 3 days extremely ugly as well. Extremely, it's more ugly than what we had here at this top in 2019. I think it's even more ugly than this. And here, it was not the top of the macro cycle, but we had a, 50% pullback. So, yeah, just saying. Same thing as MACD, look at this, it's in the stratosphere right now. It's about to cross bear on the 3-day chart. Well, it's not pretty. It's not pretty at all. So yeah, be careful. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, maybe we're gonna keep going up, who knows? But just saying, be careful, because there's some serious warning sign to me on this chart. So yeah, maybe we can look at the Elliott current, but at this stage, there's not much clarity. So, wow, okay. So we're starting to break through this line, which is not good at all. I wanted to make the video before we broke through it and say, I was planning to say, well, for me it's gonna be a warning sign if we break through it, but yeah. Anyway, last time I spoke about Elliott current, about if it was this. So, but I think clearly it's not what we're getting now, because if we were in this wave 3 blue, we should have been moving higher with much more conviction about what we're doing now. So I don't think it's correct, this count anymore. And so now I'm looking at this bearish count instead, where this wave 4 was ended here with some kind of a running flat. 1, 2, 3, triangle, 4, 5. I don't know if it's correct, but it's what I'm looking at right now. And maybe last coin we can look at for this video is this, how do you call this? I don't know how you pronounce it. It's Yfii, Yarn Finance, or something like this. Well, last time I spoke about it, I spoke about how this ascending triangle was going to break up, which it did. But no, I'm starting to be very worried actually, because Well, I mean, like if you look at the entire price data here with the bottom here, and you simply compare this to this, like at this stage you have to wonder which one of these two price action looks more impulsive and which one looks more corrective. And to me, I mean, I'm starting to think that this looks more corrective and this looks more impulsive. So, you know, here we have a almost perfect channel. I think in terms of Fibonacci, we are around between the 50 and the 618 here. So I'm not telling you should short this, but be careful if you're long. And for me, I'm really looking for this pullback, you know. I'm really hoping we're gonna get it actually, because if we get it, that would be a pretty great long entry around the $600 area, in my opinion. So I hope we're gonna get it. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. Hope you enjoyed. That's it for me for today. See you next time. Bye.